Hello, friends. This is Christopher davis-Shannon, and today I am checking in with the Germany-based artist Charlotte Pelgen. How are you doing today, Charlotte?
Hi, yeah, I'm really great. Thank you. I'm really great to be on your lovely little segment here. And yeah, I'm good.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. And as everyone knows, I like to just kick this off with a tune. So could you play us a little music to start things off?
Absolutely. Oh honey, I never felt this way. Romantically, I'm up in the air. It's funny, oh so funny, me taking it this way. Don't know if I should, but gee, it feels good. I'm flying high, but I've got a feeling I'm falling for nobody else but you. You caught my eye, and I've got a feeling I'm falling. Show me the ring and I'll jump right through. I used to travel single, only chance to mingle. Oh no, I'm a tingle over you. Oh, Mr. Parsons, stand by, 'cause I've got a feeling I'm falling for nobody else but you. Oh honey, you've got me go crazy. I don't know my elbow from my ear. It's funny, so funny, me going crazy. You're working too fast. How long can I last? I'm flying high, but I've got a feeling I'm falling for nobody else but you. You caught my eye, and I've got a feeling I'm falling. Show me the ring and I'll jump right through. I used to travel single, always chance to mingle. Oh no, I'm a tingle over you. Oh, Mr. Parsons, stop by, 'cause I've got a feeling I'm falling for nobody else but you. That's all.
That was so wonderful. I have to tell you, I feel very spoiled this morning because it's just early afternoon here now, where it's evening for you. But right before this, I was actually on the line with Andy Eastwood. So I feel like I'm just having all these wonderful songs played at me in the morning. And I kind of wish this was every day that I got to just have people playing me some of my favorite music. So Charlotte does a lot of the old tunes that I do as well, and one of the wonderful things about her repertoire is that she also addresses the verses to a lot of these tunes, which many have been left by the wayside. You've actually started a little series on Instagram and Facebook called Sheet Music Saturdays, featuring those tunes in their original compositional styles with the original verses and choruses, and a lot of those also extra uke chords that get thrown in there that have also been kind of left by the wayside, that were in those original arrangements as the composers and arrangers really intended back in the 20s and 30s. What really inspired you to start playing this style of music and to dig so deep into it?
Well, I first started because of my father. He really got into it when I was a teenager. He brought a ukulele home one day, and he just started singing all these 1920s German tunes mainly. And as a teenager, I first wasn't so convinced. I thought they were a little bit funny, a little bit embarrassing maybe. If you listen to this music long enough, you just have to fall in love with it, and you can't really resist the energy that it radiates. And then I got into collecting the old sheet music, which is beautifully illustrated, and that really inspired me to do this series and to incorporate all the verses that are being left out. Yeah, I just love this music. It's just the best.
It is. It's funny that you mentioned that sheet music. I also collect a lot of the original sheet music myself, because the sheet music cover in and of itself back then was such an art form, and some of them are so beautiful, and it's illustration work that you don't really see today, which is kind of a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, and besides doing the sheet music Saturdays and playing all your solo gigs, and I know you do duo gigs as well in a few different formats, you have a full band called the Band Mouse Orchestra, which performs a lot of this music. And I believe you all have a new record coming out very soon, right?
Yeah, that's true. We just finished our crowdfunding campaign for that, so thank you again to everybody who supported us there. And right now I'm working on the booklet, but the CD is already mixed and mastered, and it should be done in about a month and a half maybe.
That's wonderful to hear. Now this is sort of a concept record that you guys are putting out, right? Or at least a themed record. Can you talk just a little bit about that and let people know what you're doing with this? I know there was a bunch of research associated with this too. This isn't just a collection of tunes. It's quite a bit more than that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's really a passion project. It's about queer musicians and queer songwriters from the 20s to 40s, because we discovered a really colorful queer movement in that era that we didn't know of before, that kind of also paved the way to the later LGBTQ liberation movement, the Stonewall riots and everything. And with that movement in the 20s, the queer movement, with it came a bunch of wonderful, wonderful songs that are kind of erased because after the 30s, everything got very conservative again. So a lot of these songs were kind of swept under the rug. I don't know if you say that. Yeah, you say that, right? So we want to remind of them and give them a voice again and a place on the stages.
Yeah, and that's so wonderful to breathe life into so many of these tunes that were just kind of left behind to an extent, because I know there's a lot of great repertoire there and a lot of great music, and because of social reasons is sort of why it fell in the past. So it's really wonderful to see people doing the work to resurrect that and bring it back to the masses, at least a little bit in our insular little ukulele scene, as it were. Do you think maybe you could play another tune for us?
I'd love to. I just saw a maniac, wild, and tearing his hair, jumping like a jumping jack, oh child, you should have been there. Laughed so loud I thought that I would cave in when I heard that silly daffodil raving 5'2", eyes so blue. But oh, what those 5 could do. Does anybody see my girl? Turned up nose, turned down nose, flat, yes, one of those. Is anybody see my girl? Now if you run into a 5'2", covered with blood, diamond rings and all those things that you like, it isn't about Gucci love, Gucci boo, Gucci, Gucci, Gucci goo. Does anybody see my girl?
That was so much fun. What a lovely arrangement. One of the things I've always loved about that song is that because of the simplistic melody, it fits really well on the uke as a chord melody piece. It is kind of a good, accessible tune for people getting started in the ragtime style. And I know you've just started a little lesson package teaching the solo version of this tune, as well as a strummed version of this song as well. And it's great that other people are now able to learn that through you. So where can people actually find that course if they want to learn how to play pretty much exactly what you just played?
Well, they can either write me on Facebook. On my Facebook page, Charlotte Pelgen, there's all the information about the tutorials. and how to pay it and everything. Or you can just write me an email at pelgen@gmx.de. I reckon there will be links to everything somewhere.
There will indeed. Yes, you don't have to sit there with your notebook writing down all of these. I will have it all in the description, so you can just have a nice, convenient one click to play ukulele. Are you planning to do any more like these in the future? Because I know you have a bunch of tunes arranged that I've seen you playing. Are you hopping a little bit more into the education realm these days?
Yeah, I think so. I'm planning on doing it. I'm just getting comfortable with talking to a camera and
yes, indeed. Yes, I know that battle very well.
Yeah. And getting a little bit more comfortable with my recording programs and everything. But I think it's a lot of fun, and I didn't think I would enjoy it so much, but I'm definitely going to do a couple more of these.
Wonderful. Yeah, and I think it's a great resource for the uke community in general. These tunes lend themselves so well to it, and there's not a whole lot of us out there teaching this style of play. And there's you and me and Zaza, of course, and Andy Eastwood, and a few other, ragtime players, Kathy Fink and Marcy Markster over in the U.S. But it's a fairly small scene, but I would find that it's something that people in uke really love playing this music. As you were talking about with the sheet music stars, that some of it's kind of kitschy and silly, but that lends itself to uke a little bit. We get away with these silly things that other instrumentalists cannot, to a certain extent. Which is it's very nice. I'm curious, actually, what uke are you playing today?
Right now I'm playing my Ken Tims. I'm usually one of those who swears by the old Martin ukuleles.
Yes.
But I do find that Ken Tims, a luthier from the UK, builds wonderful instruments, as well as Liam Kirby from Wunderkammer, also from the UK.
I'm a huge fan of Liam Kirby. He built my dream uke for me, and I don't think that thing will ever leave my hands for as long as I live.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah, really, I've heard great things about Ken Tims instruments as well, but I've never gotten my hands on. They don't come up in the States too often,
right?
Unfortunately. Yeah. But before we dive down too much of a nerdiness of talking about instruments, which could go on for hours, I am sure, how about you play another tune for us?
Let's do it. I'm a dreamer, aren't we all? Just a dreamer, aren't we all? In my dreams, each night it seems my sweetheart comes to call. He's so charming, strong and tall. It's alarming how I fall. He's ideal, but then he isn't real, and I'm a fool. But aren't we all? he isn't real, and I am a fool. But aren't we all?
Gosh, that was so lovely. I think I'm going to have to look up that tune and learn it myself. That's what I don't have in my repertoire. I'm going to have to do that. Charlotte, thank you so much for joining me today and taking the time out of your day to play some tunes and chat a little bit. Everyone listening, I will drop links to the Band Mouse Orchestra record as well as her profiles on all the social media platforms so you can follow the work she's doing. That lesson on 5'2" so you can learn, and there's just so much going on. So Charlotte, thank you again so much for doing this and tuning in.
Thank you so much for having me. It was really fun.
Oh, you're quite welcome. If you wouldn't mind, could you just play us a little piece to bring us out?
Let's do it.